Hello everyone, I'm Utami, University student from Sastra Indonesia, Fakultas Ilmu Budaya, Universitas 11 Maret. And on this occasion, I represent our group. We'll present about our group articles entitled Representation of Malay Women in the Hikayat Negeri Atas Angin by Utami and Asep Yudha Wirajaya from Prodi Sastra Indonesia, Fakultas Ilmu Budaya, Universitas 11 Maret. And the first is introduction. In discussing the issue of gender, of course, we will discuss about the patriarchal system, which is considered the root of the problem on the issue of gender itself. The issue of gender certainly cannot be separated from the aspects of women, which is one of the important aspects in the discussion. Without the women's aspect, discussion on gender issue cannot be carried out. The emergence of gender issues is caused by various groups who feel the women are still considered weak creatures and do not have the same power or position as men, so that women are always placed in an inferior position. In court tradition, women were often placed in second place. Women are often depicted as objects of marriage that become a political tool with the aim of being able to produce offspring so that the royal throne can still be inherited by the king's lineage. This article uses a formal object in the form of a representation of the depiction of Malay women by using Stuart Hall's representation theory to reveal the role of the wife of King Maharaja Ali. In addition, the object of the material used is Hikayat Negeri Atas Angin, or HNAA, collection of the French National Library with manuscript code Malayo-Polynesian 56. HNAA is interesting to discuss because there has been no research discussing the HNAA manuscript. HNAA is a plural script. There is a manuscript that has the same content as the HNAA but has a different title, namely the Hikayat Maharaja Ali, which is based on the PNC contents for manuscript. These manuscripts are stored in the National Library of the Republic of Indonesia. The first manuscript is coded ML638A from W106A. The second manuscript has the code ML640 from W107. The third manuscript coded ML641 from W108. And the last manuscript coded ML198A, and this based on article by Purwanto. The HNAA manuscript also has similarities in story content with the Hikayat Ali Batsyah manuscript collection of the French National Library, with the Malayo-Polynesian manuscript code 57. It can be concluded the total number of HNA manuscripts is 5 manuscripts with different manuscripts titled from the HNAA. And next is literature review. According to Stuart Hall, representation is a bridge that can connect meaning and language with culture. In addition, representation becomes a major part of the process of producing meaning, which can then be exchanged with members of other cultures or community groups. Therefore, briefly, representation can be interpreted as one of the procedures to create a meaning. Representation can work on the existence of a representation system which consists of two important components, namely concept in the human mind and language, so that the representation process is divided into two. Okay, next is gender. Gender has a concept that is everything that is closely related to men and women and is the result of social and cultural construction. And we use method is qualitative descriptive method because it's the method used in this study, the technique of collecting data in this study began with an inventory of manuscripts, then observations related to metadata that had been included on the digital library page of the French National Library. And now we talk about results and discussion. The first is manuscript description. HNAA tells the story of the life of a king who named Maharaja Ali. The title of the manuscript has been listed in the first sentence of the first page of the HNAA manuscript. The HNAA script manuscript from the collection of the National Library of French with the code Malay Polynesian 56 and has total 70 pages with 30 blank pages. And the HNAA script is written in Jawi Arabic script using Malay and some in Arabic because the HNAA script is influenced by Islam and Middle Eastern culture. The condition of the HNAA manuscript is very good. The legibility level is also quite high because the ink used does not contain a high acidity to the ink. Color is maintained and does not spill into the surroundings. And next is representation of Malay women as empress or wife. The character of King Maharaja Ali's wife appear on page 4, which is quote as follows. And the continues of the quotes on page 4, namely the quote on page 5. From the two quotes above, it can also be interpreted that the role of women is quite high and very influential, not only in a small environment, but in very large environment, such as in the kingdom. Based on the opinion of the wife of King Maharaja Ali, it can provide a policy that is very influential for the life of the people in his kingdom. Therefore, it can be said that the role of women is very important for the environment, especially if the women occupies an important position or high position. The Malay culture does not look down on the position of women, which is reflected in the HNAA text. The depiction of King Maharaja Ali's wife can be said the women can also be wise and authoritative. The point of describing the role of the wife of Raja Maharaja Ali is to be able to provide an example or form of a symbol of the ideal female character or wife to the Malay community. In addition, the role of the wife of King Maharaja Ali can also be interpreted that women, especially as wife, must always be in their nature, which cannot express opinion directly and publicly in society or the public. And conclusion is, first, the role of King Maharaja Ali wife in HNAA text does not have a special role that distinguishes it from otherwise roles. Rules of the role of the wife of King Maharaja Ali are in accordance with the nature of women who still make husbands or men as leaders and must be based on permission or orders from their husbands to behave or act. And second, the wife of King Maharaja Ali can also describe the Malay culture that upholds the position and role of women who have a very large influence and on their environment. And thank you for your attention. I'm sorry if I have a mistake. Thank you so much.